Okay, dzień dobry. So I'm not going to speak Polish, never mind. Even if my name is Polish, I'm ashamed, but I'm unable to speak Polish. Unless I'm saying things about nie mam szczęścia and that kind of things, which it's quite universal, but I don't know why this sentence about nie mam szczęścia, but it's like that. Or I remember something which was just Jaruzelski, Smok Wawelski. That was by the time I was in 89, I was in the country. That was the kind of things you were saying, and I've seen the country changing. So I'm very happy to be here with you, even if I'm coming straight from the airport, so I was unable to take the feeling of the conference, but I will tell you a few words about our vision on TV, and the good news is that I think we're spending something like 30 minutes together, that's it, and I'm the only thing between you and the break, so it is the good news. If you don't like it, it won't last forever. So speaking about the evolution of TV, I wanted to insist on some elements. First of all is that the main thing that we have to discuss here is the meeting between the internet and the TV. And it's not a brand new topic, since we've been speaking about TV meeting the internet for the last 10 years, with the idea that the revolution was coming and that the internet was going to scramble everything and blast everything in the TV world. And what you see now is that even if there are things changing, well, I may say that TV remains a very strong media, a very strong industry where there is money, etc. So there are some influences, but I wouldn't say that there is a complete revolution of what TV was before and what TV is today. And it is something which is very important to understand, that all this element is slowly evolving, and we have this kind of permanent revolution inside the meeting of TV and the internet. So to take a few facts about that, we're seeing that even if all the things are not changing, we can see that some elements are changing. I think that starting with the first figure, which is the time that the people are spending in front of the TV, we see that in most of the countries, people are still consuming more and more TV, more and more live TV. They're spending, for instance, in France, almost 4 hours in front of TV, gaining 1 or 2 minutes each year. So people are not stopping watching TV, they watch it in a different way. For instance, by starting to multitask. And this multitasking has become something which is absolutely normal. Even you, in this conference, you're multitasking, you're tweeting, you're using your laptop or tablets while listening to the first screen I'm just trying to incarnate here. So this multitasking is now present in something like 60 to 80% of the people's behavior. It's everywhere when people are young, but also in the other segments and categories, people are multitasking. So this change of behavior is something which is very important, and this is why we're spending, I think, so much time thinking of what these second screens, for instance, are bringing to that. It is something that we see in the studies. If we look at, for instance, the strategy analytics, we're saying that social TV is already here, and the way people are using the second screen in front of the TV is clearly seen in the way people are answering the studies. The other important thing that we're seeing is that we have a giant boost in the way people are consuming videos. Not only TV, linear TV, but videos. Was it because they are just using video on demand on their TV, but also because they consume a lot of videos on the internet, on their mobile phones, on the smartphones, on the tablets, etc. And this is why I think a few years ago we've acquired Dailymotion, which is not just behind, but which is the #2 search engine in terms of videos in the world, just after YouTube, and that we're still betting a lot on the fact that this video consumption is not only yet another format. It is something which is very, very important in the way people are now each and every day spending a significant time simply watching some videos on the internet. The third point, which has been clearly an evolution is this idea of the connected TV. And the connected TV, seen 5 years behind, 5 years before, was something just like a kind of new technophile and new technical revolution coming, with the idea that this television set was going to become a connected object. And I was a little bit dubious about that because, as probably many of you, I was traveling a bit, and I was seeing every time I was staying in a hotel room that I had a keyboard just next to the TV, which I was never using. I don't know how many of you have been using this keyboard next to the TV in the hotel room. Please raise your hands. Nobody. Yes, 1, 2. And I was thinking of the connected TV as they want to transform this TV into a computer. And it is not. Obviously, it is not, because there is something in the way people are considering their relation to the big screen, which is in the way they're switching it on because, first of all, they want to relax and be entertained. And this is not the reason for which you're just switching on any of the other devices. When you switch on the computer, it's because you want to do something or spend some time chatting with your friends, etc. You're not switching on the TV for the same reason. And for that reason, I was dubious that the connected TV may be a hit for that, simply transforming, plugging the wire or enabling the Wi-Fi on the connected TV. And what we have seen now is that after the first move, which was for us to bring some services on the LG, TCL, or Samsung connected TVs, we've seen that even if the sets were sold to the people were not using the interactive services on the TV set for many reasons. You may say it's because of the ergonomics, because of the availability of the services, but it is also because it's not natural at all to use a remote control to browse on the TV. And I think that what Google was doing, for instance, in the first Google TV, was clearly a mistake by thinking that simply a browser on the TV makes a computer. It's not that simple, because when you're in front of the TV, you want to lean back, you want to behave differently than when you're using another screen. So this is why the connected TV has transformed into something which can take probably two forms: not only the fact that a TV can be connected, but also the idea that you may have either set-top boxes or other devices such as the Blu-ray connected players, etc., or second screen that can connect not the device itself, but the experience. And when you're using a second screen, when you're using an application in front of the TV, the important fact is not that your TV set is connected or not. It's that the TV experience you're in is connected. And this is mainly the change for us when we're speaking about connected TV. In this world, I think that if the things are not progressing as fast as we could expect, it's probably because there are some issues. And I will just go into some of the issues that we're seeing as the major issues and the major stakes for the industry to solve in the coming years. The first of all is probably choice. And when you think of choice, of the word choice, you often see something like that. When it's about choosing a nice pair of shoes to go on the beach, it's pretty cool to say, okay, I will have the Peanuts one or the... but in fact, the choice that everybody has, any people on Earth now has when he switches on the TV at 8 p.m. is this kind of impression. So facing not only one product, but an incredible number of products, propositions, which is about 200 channels, which is about having hundreds of billions of videos, etc. And as a matter of fact, it's one of the basics in marketing. Too much choice is a problem. And when you are in front of that, which can be summarized as that, you're feeling the tyranny of choice. It means that you don't know exactly what you will do. And what we're seeing in the studies when, for instance, we just want to have the customer behavior. We're seeing that, for instance, people are starting, they take the remote control, they go in the menu to choose, for instance, a video on demand. They want to watch a movie. They spend 5, 10, 15 minutes. And after 15 minutes, if they haven't found something, they're just simply back on the live TV, and they use the only 2 keys which are important on the remote control, which are P plus, P minus, and they go like that, plus, 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 and they stop when they're just seized by an emotion. And this emotion can simply be Leonardo DiCaprio in Titanic, or I don't know, Meg Ryan, and maybe they've been seeing that movie 12 times, and they haven't been starting from the beginning. They're in the middle of When Harry Met Sally, but they have the smile of Meg Ryan. They stop and they watch. They watch and they stay where they are. So if you just think of all of us in the industry spending so many time trying to assemble very nice proposition, and you think that the customer is simply doing P plus, P minus, and stop, you think that there is a problem in the efficiency of what we're doing. So I think that this problem of choice has to be solved, and probably to be solved by recommendation engine. And all the recommendation engine are now trying to find the best method, trying sometimes to create some hybrid method by using the different type of recommendation. We've identified probably 7 or 8 different type of recommendation, among which, for instance, is Shuffle. The best recommendation engine is the iPod Shuffle. You don't have to think about anything, you just wait for the next music, the next tune to be played. It's magic. You don't have to do anything. So we have to find the good formula, and probably we have to include some human recommendations, some human elements into that, probably bought by some curation, but it will take probably 4 or 5 years, additional years, to come to something that will be good for everybody. After this problem, I think that we have to understand the difference between connected and connectable. And when we think about this connected TV, the idea of connecting a TV set or anything in the living room is just about that. Do you have, or will you accept some wires in your living room? And we have a concept about that which is called the woman acceptance factor. The woman acceptance factor is how are you going to have this matter of cable in your living room? For me, it has taken some very intense negotiation to have the white cable that nobody can see and can be buried under the carpet, etc. It's that kind of discussions which is slowing down the adoption of connected TV. I'm not speaking of the Wi-Fi, you know why, because with the Wi-Fi, as a French humorist is saying, when you have a Wi-Fi problem between the TV set and the computer, the problem is here, and you don't know where. So the difference about connected and connectable is very important. People are now using connectable TV set. They have both connected, but they are connectable as long as they are not connected. Third issue is metadata. If you want to find something, it's not only because you have the content that you will find it. You need a lot of metadata to be added to that, just in order to be able to have a correct answer. And we still miss a lot of metadata, so we're just about finding the good algorithms or the good method to add all the metadata. And if you want to feel what it's like in other domains, for instance, think of your photo collection. All the days you've been taking some pictures, and we all have now thousands of pictures on our disk. As long as we're not putting any tags to say this was in San Francisco, or this is a picture of my daughter, etc. The pictures are simply lost in drawers, which are just ranked by date, and nobody can browse them unless you're just going on shuffle mode. And it's the same thing with all the content material on TV. It's even worse. going on that one, I'm just going to say that we may think of the social TV to be one of the elements, but we've seen, I'm going to be back on that afterwards, on why the social TV is a good thing and what is not sufficient to create the revolution by itself. Last issue I wanted to speak about is the experience, and I think that as long as we have a remote control which is as sexy as this one, and as long as we have menus as this one, I think we'll have some problem transforming the way people can use their TV apart from watching live TV. And I think that we still have, there were some evolution, there are some new ways of controlling the human interface. You may think of the Keynote, you may think of a lot of things like that, even voice, which was supposed to be the good way to change a channel, etc., in front of the TV. But we're still not delivering a very good experience to the customer. So it's still underachieving. I'm going to tell you a lot, but just to show you one picture of what we're doing in our last box, saying that what we wanted to do on the last set-top box we've put in the hands of the customer was really to work on this experience. So it's not yet perfect, but I think we've made a lot of progress compared to the previous generation, and we're still going to improve that by integrating recommendation, by bringing some interfaces that are simplifying the usage for the people. Talking about the second screen, I think that, and I know it's the major topic here this year, I think that we shouldn't forget that second screen can be a lot of things and not only one type of usage. It can range from things which are about conversation, gaming, about information or trends. It's not only one thing, it's not only about chatting with your friends or playing some quizzes. And I will lower the tone of my voice since I'm seeing someone sleeping in the audience, but not yet, not any longer. Yeah, second screen is really something which can be, which can really have a lot of different usages. One thing is pretty sure is that at this time we're only at year 3 of social TV, and we cannot expect one of the usage to be fully adopted by 100% of the people and to be monetized and representing a vast amount of additional money for the industry. It's too early. So I know that the problem we have all is that in our organization, on year 1 you do what you want, on year 2 you get questions, on year 3 you get fired. It's the way things are happening, because on year 3 you have the finance people coming to you and telling you, okay, where's the money? Where's the money? Here's the door. It's the two things they are saying. They have to wait a little bit. It's not on year 3 that you can make miracles for everything. Just to show you, and maybe we can switch. We can try to switch on the video. Is it working or not? So I would like to show you what we're doing in terms of second screen on TV Check, knowing the fact that I have 3 different adapters that are not wired at all, so it may be a problem. So this is TV Check. This is a product we've been launching in France and in the UK, and it is a second screen application. First of all, it's an EPG, so at any time we have the ability, if the network works, to be in the program guide and to be seeing currently what's on any channel. But it's also a social thing, because at any time I'm able to know we're in the middle of the afternoon, so there is nothing very exciting in French TV, but I know how the people are reacting, how the users of TV Check are seeing or not, and what they are currently watching. I'm seeing the social activity around shows. For instance, I have a kind of buzzometer which gives me the speed on Twitter, where I can see, for instance, that the first show has 5 tweets per minute, the second show has 4 tweets per minute, but it's growing. I have some content recommendation. here I have some recommendations which are tailored to my needs. And here I can say, yes, I like, I don't like. And this is about shows which are simply being taken from the EPG. And they are just resembling some shows I've been liking by the past, because I can like a show. I can also do some check-in. And the check-in mechanism I won't show you, but it's you just point your TV and it will recognize the show and publish it on Facebook, Twitter, or whatever. And we have a little bit of entertainment in front of TV, and this is the demo effect as usual. I'm just going to be back on this one. I don't know why. So we have some quizzes, we have a lot of things which are just about, we should have some. Yeah. So we have, for instance, some quizzes. I have a quiz about Erin Brockovich, so I can gain 2 points if I'm answering the question. Which is about who's the director of the movie. Anyone? Louder? First one? Wrong. Etc., etc. So what we've been doing in TV Check was not to, and we can be back on the slides, please. Okay, so we wanted to bring something which was a way to rediscover TV. So not to say we're going to replace TV, the first screen stays the first screen, but the second screen has to complement the TV watching, but not bringing 10 different types of usages, only 3 of them, which are about these 3 sentences: I discover, I play, I share. But not getting to add some promotion, marketing, sales, etc. And even 3 is a very important number. We wanted to maybe to have only 1 or 2. So in that, we wanted to try to see if we can bring some additional usage which are not going to disturb the way people are watching TV. So as a matter of fact, they have a second screen. They're already in a kind of interpassive communication with their friends. They're watching TV, sometimes they text, and then they're back on TV, they text, they're back on TV, etc. But it's not, doing that, they don't have the same type of attention that has a pilot in a jumbo jet. If you're just having 10 different screens and you're spending time on each of them, you have a lot of fatigue coming, you're tired, etc. This is not how the people are watching TV. So this is why we wanted to make them present but not disturbing the TV viewing. I'm going quick on that one, but you may simply download it if you have an iPhone or an Android phone, just pointing to the French or English stores. You may get a feel of what it is, or send me some questions if you want to know more about that. Speaking of the new technologies coming, there was a question about being hype or hope with all the things coming to TV world. And back again, because this gentleman wanted to take a picture of this one. No? Too late. You will have the slides. You can download them. First of all, about TV apps. Will TV transform into a giant store with 1 million apps? I don't think so. I think you will have some apps, but for the reasons I've expressed on the connected TV set, I'm not thinking of all the interactivity occurring on the big screen. I think that the other screen can be the place where the applications are played more than the big screen itself. Second thing about NPVR, it was funny. I've been joining Orange 7 years ago. That was maybe the first discussion of the meeting I was in. Do we bring a PVR or NPVR, personal video recorder, to the users? Because we all have in mind that the PVR is something that was here when we were kids watching TV, and so it has to be somewhere in the world. As a matter of fact, if we have a decent catch-up system, there's no need to have a PVR. So I think that on that, we may try to have a better PVR, but maybe the solution will come into disruptive players, which are just bringing some small antennas. You may refer to, I don't know if you know an American company based in New York. They just rent you a little antenna that can be accessed remotely, and you can have any channel and record it when you want, etc. Third element, smart TV. Well, I'm sometimes saying that the problem with smart TV is that nobody wants the TV to be smarter than you. So as long as the people are considering that they're smarter and they have to hold the remote control, there's no room for the TV to be smarter. And the first TVs are not that smarter. If you think of the remote control they're giving us, it's the same model. They've changed the color of the keys, but it's the same remote control we've been breaking for years. So it's the same. HBB TV. I don't know if you have that in Poland. I know that in France and Germany it is there. Okay, there are some pilots. So. Welcome to the world made by the industry. Who thinks, I don't know if you have marketers in the rooms, if you have people who are just about selling stuff to people, who thinks he can sell anything called like that to a customer? No one, okay. My point. It's just about, we have to speak of the benefits and not only of hiding ourselves between something which is just like a kind of official specification, etc. We have to speak of the services and the value added for the people, not of the ugly names like that. Well, social TV, as expressed before, I think there's a big hope around that. Because in that, we can simply say that the way we take pictures about people, we used to be like that in the 50s or 60s watching TV. We're not completely like that in 2013, but it's true that the second screen are there. So the way people are connected together, sometimes if you have teenagers home, you know that they don't have any problem chatting together on their mobile while they're watching TV, even if they're less than a meter from the other. 4K for sure, because there is something which is still valid, is that the people are buying bigger and bigger screen. So if the screen are bigger and bigger, the content has to be better and better. So this means two things, 4K for the industry and HEVC for the codecs, etc. Because we have to deliver, we are not going to have the same evolution in the networks that you have in the needs. So we need to compress, we need to use codecs, etc. We need to keep this HEVC horrible name for the industry only and not for the consumer. But it's important that we're making a good progress on that, and that we're making good progress on the networks as well. And this is why we are investing so much on fiber, because we need fast networks to deliver all that. So about tomorrow, I don't think we have a lot of time speaking about in details about how the interaction are going to be done, but I think that first of all, it's about solving the issues I've been describing before. So when I was speaking about, there is a lot of problems around missing metadata, where we have to make a lot of efforts for the people to have a maximum of metadata in their system, because with that they could have a good recommendation system, they could have a good interface that will rely on things they understand clearly and not on things they have to type or describe with a big effort. So it's really about recommendation and personalization. It's just about having much more contact points with the video offerings, being able to find them by different ways which are as easy as possible. It is about enriching this social TV experience on live content and on-demand content, and have a piecewise conception. So I was speaking about that already, but we have this paradox of TV abundance that at some point too much choice is really killing the way people are going to consume. Going quick on those ones, to be here, there is a question I always like to handle, which is will we have some set-up boxes in 2020? The answer is I don't think so as we see the set-top boxes today, because the movement and the trend that you're clearly seeing on the market now is that on one hand you have some devices coming which are not resembling the futuristic one in the middle, which was a kind of concept for Xbox 720, but you see that clearly. Was it Microsoft or Sony? They're just preparing a device connected to the TV, connected to the internet, and which is really, really no longer a game console. It's a media hub, it's a general entertainment device for the living room, and it's already connected in many cases. People are just used to be using this for gaming communities, and starting to have some usage on the TV, on the second screen, etc. So on that point, let's say that it's taking the high-end market and will take the high-end market because the performances of those devices, they are made for gaming, so they have a very high level of performances. They are just 10 times better than any set-top box you can find on the market. On the other hand, you have the low-cost set-top boxes, and the low-cost set-top boxes currently, they're just like the one on the left. They are dongles, simple dongles you plug on the port on TV. They cost, I wouldn't say nothing, but they cost something like $30 to $50. It's the case of Chromecast. What Google has just unveiled is a dongle. And with that, you just enable the connection to the internet plus the connection to any mobile phone, which can be compatible with that. So you simplify the connection between any second screen and the first screen. So with something on the high end, something on the low end, I think there is no room for something in the middle. So no room for the future set-top boxes. So this is it. What I wanted to finally insist on the idea that in that world, what we are doing at Orange is try to understand all this, not only by doing some innovation studies, etc., but we do basically two things. The role of my team at Orange is always to try things. This means that we read the studies, we hear the weak signals, but we try to transform them into products. It's the case for TB Check. As long as we don't have any feedback from a user using our products, we consider that we don't know anything about a topic. And the other thing is to try to work with the ecosystems, which means that we try, for instance, to open as many APIs as possible on each and every product for everybody to be able to work on our TV box, on our TV setup box, on our cloud, or any of the platforms that we are distributing. This is what I wanted to share with you, so I'm open to any question now if we have time, and I'm telling you dziękuję bardzo, and thanks for your attention.
So has TV Check been developed internally?
Yes and no. Yes, because we had some developers in-house. No, because we are using some technologies which are coming from also from startups. So we're assembling it internally, and we've been doing that for almost all of the projects we've been doing in my group. Is that every time we find a short track, we use them. Shortcuts, we use them, and so it's I would say it's half done internally, half assembled with very good components and elements we buy from companies. Dziękuję bardzo. It's time for the break.